Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, and today it is episode 7 of Friday with a Friend. And we have Lindy here to interview. Lindy comes from Texas, and so she's going to be telling us her story. And I've got one question for her before we even begin. So you've got this long YouTube name, and Lindy isn't anywhere to be found.
Nope.
Then it says paleo in it. So welcome, Lindy. Let's
Yeah.
get started.
Hi.
Hi.
So that's a funny story how I got that name. I actually, before I came to keto, did paleo, but the name has nothing to do with it. I, in college, took geology and paleontology. And so when I got my first Yahoo email, I tried every configuration of having to do with rocks and fossils, and they were all taken. And my husband's like, you like Barbies and you like paleontology, let's do paleo Barbie. So that's how that came about. And then later I did paleo, so it was like meant to be. So
Well,
that's how it,
okay. So it sounds like you've got some paleo in your story.
yeah.
Um, why don't you tell us how you got here?
Okay. I did paleo about 7 years ago. I started it because I have Graves' disease. So I have, and when they treated that with radioactive iodine, I was in my early 20s. It basically kills your thyroid. So it's like I have no working thyroid. So, medication for life. And so I felt horrible all the time. And I just came across some research. I can't remember where that I was reading online or something, and started reading books. And so I started doing paleo. I felt a lot better, but the weight wouldn't come off. I felt good, but the weight would not budge. And then about a year and a half ago, I started seeing a lot of people in the paleo primal world talking about keto, and I was like, "What is this keto? Why are people switching to keto?" And so I started reading some books and then do more research. Found a few YouTube videos and decided that I wanted to give that a shot because it wasn't all that different. Strict keto. The dairy was the only different thing for me, really, and taking away sweet potatoes because I love sweet potatoes. So that was my big but I couldn't believe just taking away the carbs how much better I felt. So I was like, okay, there's something to this. And so I just continued, and then the scale finally started moving. So I was like, okay, there's more to that. So that's
All
where
right.
it
So
came
when
from.
you were talking about having Graves and you said you didn't feel good, what were some of the symptoms of that?
Fatigue, anxiety, depression, um, severe dry skin all the time. It didn't matter if they would do my blood work and say everything's okay, your levels, your medication is what it needs to be, and all this. Weight gain, or I couldn't lose weight. I could maintain really well on paleo, but I couldn't lose weight. Um, so I was keeping it from going up, but um, just all kinds of things you wouldn't even. My eyesight just kept getting worse and worse, and which everybody thinks that's normal, but when you have Graves' disease, that's a big symptom. Your eyes are affected by that because your thyroid affects everything in your
And
body.
what did they test? How did they test you to figure that out?
To figure I had Graves,
Hmm.
I blood work. I think it's been so long. The original, I mean, they always do blood work, but originally blood work, yes. I went to an endocrinologist. I was the first symptoms I got were like hot flashes almost. I would be at work and I would feel dizzy and I would get really hot, and I was like, "What in the world?" And so they started testing me, and that's what they found out. And so,
And so you find it, are your symptoms relieved from going on keto?
oh yeah,
Mhm.
they were a little bit relieved with paleo because any clean diet is going to help, is way better than what you are eating before. But cutting out those carbs has really, being in ketosis has really made my anxiety is like gone. I would get really bad anxiety if I would go over a bridge or anything like that, and now I don't. I mean, I'm not like gripping the steering wheel. Um, and my depression is a lot better. Like I'll get down days every now and then, but mostly, they're gone. So
And
it's amazing to me.
it is amazing. I love the non-scale victories. So what was So for you personally, the difference between paleo and keto, you said sweet potatoes. What else was there that makes paleo different?
I honey, things like that, honey, and like maple syrup you can have in your treats for sweeteners instead of the like swerve and things that we use. Um, which wasn't an often thing, but you know, Christmas time stuff would have that stuff in it. But the main thing for me was adding a little bit of dairy back in because I did mostly coconut milk, canned coconut milk or the other kind, and I didn't use cheese, but maybe every so often. So it was at first I just went like crazy on the dairy, you know. So I kind of had to rein it back in and be like, okay, now I don't need to be eating this much dairy. But so I do have dairy now. So, but that's a big difference for me because I ate a pretty strict paleo, other than every once in a while having a little bit of dairy.
Is it meat emphasized in that food plan?
Um, it's it's clean, clean eating, no grains, no sugar, just like keto. Um, there's no like limits on as far as like you should have macros or anything. I mean, I'm sure there are people in the paleo world that do macros, but that's not like talked about like it is in keto. So I never like counted anything or worried about anything of that stuff. And I used good fats. I use the same fats that I use now, but you know, just not any of the sweet stuff or the.
All right, so so now you're keto and you've been keto for a year and a half?
No, it would be to when I actually started. It'll be a year next month.
A
So
year. Okay,
yeah,
so happy ketoversary next month.
yeah.
You feel great,
Hmm.
and the stubborn weight has kind of
Yeah,
uh,
it's moving. I'm a turtle, but it's moving.
yeah, well, that's that's the lot of our life, right? When we get
Oh
older
yeah,
and our metabolisms just won't we're not 20 anymore. Yeah.
right.
So walk me through your day of food and supplements and sides and salts and waters and coffees and all those sort of things.
Okay. About 6 days a week I fast, so I usually don't eat a meal until noon. I'll just do coffee, usually black coffee. If I'm sometimes it'll be a bulletproof coffee, so it won't be a true fast, but most of the time it's just black coffee. And then at lunchtime I'll have. It depends on if I'm feeling a breakfast meal or a lunch meal. A lot of times it's a salad type meal or something with some salad and like leftovers from the night before, chicken or you know whatever I've made, or it's eggs, bacon, and avocado because that's like my favorite meal. Um, and then I usually don't snack. I'm not hungry, so I don't snack that much, you know, unless it's a rare treat. And then at dinner, we have a variety of different things. Usually some meat and vegetables. We usually keep it pretty simple. Every so often I'll try something like last night we tried a keto sausage bake that's from Keto Ginger over on her channel, and it was delicious. But that's not something I would make every night because I don't have time.
That would
But
be leftovers I would look forward to.
oh yeah, it's real. We've got it made a lot, so we've got
Yeah.
3 or 4 other meals out of it.
And so do you weigh and measure and
I
track?
I that is actually something I'm wanting to add this year is a scale. So I have that in my Amazon actually cart right now. I just got a Keto Mojo, so I'm playing with that and learning about my what my actual blood sugar and ketones are, seeing how things affect me that I eat and things, which I think is great. That's what I want to do this year. But I don't weigh and measure currently. No, I do eyeball like I know what 3 or 4 ounces of meat looks like, and I try to stay in that range when I eat, unless it's OMAD or something. I do OMAD every once in a while, but not often, just because of I watch my grandchildren a lot, and it's just sometimes it's just busy.
You look like you're 40. How can you have grandchildren?
Oh, I know. I'm 47 and I have two.
Oh, okay. Wow. So when you say I eyeball the portion and it's like about 4 ounces, so if it's a 2 meal a day thing, you have about 8 ounces of protein.
About there, give or take. Depends on the day. Sometimes a little more. It just depends on what we're having and what's going on. Now, if I know I want to have a big steak for dinner, then I will eat, like I've been trying to do like just a salad for lunch or something where I'm not having any that much protein, so that I can have a big steak.
Exactly. I mean, is there anything but a big steak,
I know, right?
right? Especially you're from Texas, so
All right, yeah,
it,
cattle country.
it yeah, it's your birthright. Um, so tell me about the fats in your food plan.
I do. I always have at least one cup of coffee a day with some sort of fat in it. And then whenever I cook, I use either coconut oil. I don't use olive oil as much as I used to because I tend to try to use coconut oil or bacon grease to cook with, or avocado oil. I use olive oil when I make dressing sometimes, more than that, or to drizzle on vegetables and things like that. If I'm having some meat of some kind, I'll add a little slap of Kerrygold on there just to give it a little extra fat, especially if it's a leaner piece that doesn't really have as much fat on it. But I try to buy the fattier meats for that purpose. And then let's see, avocado. I usually have an avocado several times a week. Not every day.
Okay.
I'd like to have one every day, but sometimes you just can't find good ones.
I know exactly what you're saying. So, those are your fats. Now, do you have oils? Do you have a little collection of oils that you use for different things,
Like to cook with.
or put on your salad?
Uh, I use MCT oil. I'm out right now, but I do use MCT oil in coffee, but I have used it on salads as well. I've drizzled it on my salad um, to have that.
Yeah, I like my macadamia nut and my ghee. I
I
kind
have ghee also. I forgot about ghee. I don't have. I've never tried macadamia nut oil. I bet
of,
it's good.
mm-hmm. Very good. Um, for me, I can't have anything else now. That's my new normal. I really like it a lot. All right, so those are your oils and your fats. And how about veg? What type of veggie
Uh,
like
I
and
eat a
use?
lot of spinach, um, with with some romaine thrown in there every once in a while. But I do love Brussels and asparagus. I'll eat those. I haven't eaten those in a while, but Brussels sprouts I eat at least once a week. Um, Broccoli, cauliflower. Those are the veggies I usually eat. Um, Cabbage every so often. I do love cabbage, but a lot of spinach. So every day, I bet at least every day I have spinach some way or another, either in a salad or something.
Do you put crumbled cheese on your salads?
Not all the time. I did yesterday, but I had it in a while. That's the first time I had in a while. Because I had bought some goat cheese to make some burgers that I wanted to try. And I was like, oh, I'm going to throw some of this on my salad. But usually I just do like sunflower seeds, some real bacon, and then my dressing, and maybe a grape tomato or two, depending on how much carbs I have for the day and what I'm having for dinner.
Cool. Now, so when you have a salad, you're not weighing yet. So you know how much you have? Do you go by what?
About 2 cups of greens, usually.
Okay. And you don't weigh your oils as of yet?
No.
Okay. That's fine. Now, how about waters and salts?
I drink, when I get done drinking my coffee in the morning, which I usually have about 4 cups of coffee because I got to have it to wake up. I usually make a batch of Ketorade, Dr. Berry's recipe, but I don't put sparkling water in mine. I just do water out of my Brita. I drink that whole big jar of that. And so it's got your pink salt, your magnesium, a couple of essential oils, apple cider vinegar. What else is in it? Lemon juice, I think. And so I'll drink that, and then I just drink regular water the rest of the day. And then I have Soleil water. I do take a little dose of that every day too.
So you must watch Dr. Berry. Do you watch Tammy, Keto and the Chaos?
Yes, yes.
Because that's where I heard about the Soleil
Okay.
water.
Yeah, I actually heard about Soleil water. I don't know if it was from her or who, but it's been a while. I've been using it for a while.
Do you ever do salt crystals on your tongue?
I have, when I have the bigger ones. I like to bring those when I travel because I know that I have it in my purse, and if I'm feeling kind of I know when I need electrolytes, so I'll just stick it on my tongue.
Yeah. Yeah. I have the same in my little container that, or my little bag that I bring to work. Um, so how have your triggers and cravings been in this first year of keto?
They've been pretty good. I think transitioning from paleo to keto is much easier for. Is I never got keto flu. My husband got it terribly when he went on keto with me. He didn't start it when I started. He started a few months later. But every so often, I think it's hormonal because every so often I'll get like at night. I'm like, I want something. I don't know what, and I'll just make some fat bombs or something. But it doesn't happen as much anymore. It used to happen more in the beginning, but now it's kind of like every so often. It's like I want something sweet, but
No, I
way
want
better.
it now.
Yeah, but like I said, way better now because you're not hungry, so it's like you're not even thinking of oh, I want to go buy some snacks because I want snacks in the house because I don't hardly ever snack.
So it sounds to me also like your body's gotten used to whatever portion it is that you're having. And so the fat and slash protein in that meal kind of carries you. So you're not
Mm-hmm.
past the meal and thinking that you might be still hungry.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So who else do you watch on YouTube?
I watched Keto Ginger and Lauren Brazy because she's hilarious. Not necessarily for keto as much, but for her personality. Of course, Dr. Barry, Dr. Berg. I watch The Countess sometimes, and I also watch the guys that I like to watch the fit guys like Jason Whitrock and Goody Beats because they're
The
just
ones that can't afford t-shirts?
yeah. But they have such great personalities, and they have good
Yeah.
knowledge too. But
I never
they're so
noticed.
uplifting.
Yeah, they do have a lot of knowledge. That's for sure. Yeah.
Thomas
And so
DeLauer.
do they inspire you to be a gym rat?
Well, I actually do CrossFit. I took a break from it for about 6 months just because I was in the summertime. I work in North Texas at the University of North Texas. So in the summer, I do other types of workouts. And so when I came back this summer, I kind of put off going back. It's like, I'm going to go this month. I'm going to go this month. And so now it's January and I'm like, I need to get back to CrossFit instead of just going to Planet Fitness. But I wouldn't say I'm a gym rat. I like going because of the community and I feel good after I work out, but I don't think I'll ever be like one of those competitive weightlifter people.
No, no. So you feel good after you do go to the gym though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so then, so you watch all these shows. Oh, what was my next question? Um, I've got a whining cat behind me. He's so disgusting. Um, so it's on your list of things to do, along with hitting that submit order on Amazon for this.
Yes.
I love that. Um, and um, so your husband now does keto,
Yes.
and so are are you two the only people in the house that you have to feed?
Yes, my daughters are grown, and my son is at college, so he's not that far away. He's only 45 minutes away, so he does come home some weekends, and but yeah, pretty much just us now.
Does it make it easier?
Um, if it was before paleo, I would say yes, but when my son was home, he ate paleo with us. Not when he wasn't at the house, but at the house, yeah. And same thing with my husband. He ate whatever when he wasn't here. But so this is just recent for him trying to get on plan.
Does he like it?
I wouldn't say he likes it because he loves bread. That's like
Oh,
his favorite food group, but he does know and realize that it is the best way to eat. He feels better when he's not cheating on it and all that. And he cheated over the holidays. I didn't cheat. And then after that, he was like, I feel terrible. He's like, I hate keto. And I said, well, you know what to do. And so he's eating through his treats that people have given him. And now he's getting back on track on keto, but he knows it's the best.
well, that's
Best
why
thing
I
for
call
his
us
body.
pickles as well as turtles and snowflakes, because once you've gone keto, to go back to thinking you can be a cucumber. Once you're
Right.
full, your body, it feels so good, and you never knew you could feel so good,
Mhm.
if you're older, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Well, he was. I mean, he's a little bit younger. He's 5 years younger than me, and his joints, not immediately, but like after a few weeks of eating that way again, were hurting. And he's like, I feel terrible. And I was like, it's because you're eating all these sugar and these grains and all the stuff that processed foods. And I said, that's why you feel terrible. And he's like, oh.
I know, but there wasn't one person that didn't have a little slipping up over the holiday season that has commented or written to me that didn't feel the exact same way. It's like,
Mhm.
wow, I never realized that my joints don't ache anymore
Right.
until I ate some of that stuff. It's
That's another symptom I forgot about was I used to get bad headaches, uh, migraines. And so if I cheat on keto and eat sugar, I will get a migraine. And so to me, that's a reminder, this is just not worth it to me. So I'm not the kind of person that goes off. I didn't do it during the holidays. I ate more, but I didn't get off keto because I didn't want to feel that way.
no, and it goes right to migraine. There's no like little headache. It goes right to migraine.
Yep.
Mm, that's painful. So you didn't cheat, so congratulations. First, because the first time going through from
Yeah.
Halloween until, even now, and I don't know if you're a football family, but a lot of people struggle through football games.
Oh yeah.
Because the porn, the food porn during a football game, you've got 3 hours of like, or six if you do the whole day.
Right.
They just know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is like a food group, football food.
It is.
Hmm. And so that's it's another struggle to get through, and oftentimes I always feel that going through the full 4 seasons of a year with a new food plan is the test, because summer could be wicked for some people. For other people it's the holiday season and all the traditional favorites. For other people it's the boredom of like the winter, and
Right.
and then for other people it's fall, where it's like bring on the comfort food.
Yeah. But you can have comfort food in keto.
You can, and I guess we do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So you plan to continue on. Oh, what is your relationship with the scale?
Well, it can be very annoying, of course. I'm not a weigh every day person because of my thyroid. I've always been like, it's a roller coaster. So if I weigh every day, I would just quit doing whatever I was doing because I would be so mad. So I try to weigh about once or twice a month, and that keeps me from getting not anxiety, but like being hard on myself because I can't control it, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I weigh about once or twice a month, and I'll see a bigger difference, and then I feel better. Then I weigh one day, I've lost a pound. Weigh the next day, I've gained 3, lost a pound. Yeah. So I feel better that way. It's better for my mindset to do that.
Yes, yes. It is funny with it's funny to talk about scales in front of a man, and they are like, it's just
I know, right?
they don't. And for a woman, it's like, traumatic. Well, what happened? I just weighed myself.
Yeah.
So weight wise, how much weight would you like to lose to just to to be feeling ideal?
I've lost 35 so far, and it's taken me almost a year to do that. So I'm being realistic in that's just how my body works. But with some tweaks I'm gonna making, I'm hoping that will maybe help it along. But I would like to lose another 40. So I'm hoping in another year I'll be to that, if not more. If I go past that, then great. But at least 40 is what I'm wanting.
That's amazing, Lindy. And to think, I mean, 35 pounds is like that's a lot. And to think that you can keep going, are you comfortable with the keto way of eating? So it's not a sprint, it's like a marathon. I just keep doing what I'm doing, and I know that things will happen.
Yeah, I feel like it will. I mean, I've seen so much already. with my body. And I feel like too, especially when we have autoimmune disorders and all these different things, your body's healing. So it takes your body's not going to just heal in 2 seconds. So I figure, I've got to give it time.
Yeah, and one of the things that helps me that I've been thankful for is watching Tammy, because she
Mm-hmm.
has, I don't know anybody that doesn't like have a scale struggle like she does, and she is so used to her predictability of like, oh, it's always the third week and this always happens. And so I think that she's helped me in my acceptance part more than any other part of the whole keto thing, because
Right.
she really she really retains, and she's younger than both of us, and so I really always appreciate her with that. This is the first month that I'm going till the first Thursday of February to weigh myself, so it will be a whole month. So I'm curious to see what happens. So you said you're once or twice
Yeah.
a month. Now, how about in the medical community? Do you have a keto friendly doctor? Are you one of the lucky ones?
I go to a nurse practitioner. I used to go to endocrinologists, but they would never listen to me about my weight. It was always, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. I'd be doing Weight Watchers and I wouldn't cheat, and they'd be like, well, you're obviously cheating because your weight should be going down and blah blah. The spiel. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this. So I found a nurse practitioner. I don't remember how I found her, maybe, but they are more on the natural side. They do bioidentical hormones, and they tend to go like, if you they don't like people to be on Synthroid as much. They put you on like Armour Thyroid and things like that, which is what I'm on. So I found them even before I did keto. So I've been with them for a while. But another goal I have this year is to make an appointment with Dr. Barry. So I'm wanting to travel to Tennessee, just to see what he thinks and looks at my blood work and see what his insight would be on it.
One of my clients just made an appointment and she goes the end of February. I am so excited for her.
Yeah.
I think if I had all the money in the world, that's the first appointment I'd make.
Yeah.
Not with a plastic surgeon, but with Dr. Barry.
Right. We're going to have to make it kind of a vacation. So we'll probably just do a Nashville thing and do some stuff in Tennessee, because, I'm not going to go all the way up there and come right back and not do something.
No, I know. How many miles is it?
I haven't even looked. I would say it's got to be 6 or 7, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know that my client's making a vacation out of it with Branson thrown in too. So
yeah, and Pittsford's not that far of a stretch over either. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what else haven't you told me that if I was doing a keto interview with you like I am, you would want us to know about you? How would you motivate somebody?
Well, that's one reason I started my YouTube channel, which is probably one for accountability, which is probably the same as you, but two, to help people. I'm a teacher, a certified science teacher, so I teach homeschool science for some kids. I have classes I sign up for, but I've always wanted to teach other people, pay it forward, especially once I discovered keto, I felt like there's got to be other people like me who have, hypothyroidism, who have struggled, have tried every diet that there's ever been known to man, and feel like just giving up, So I felt like I need to be there for them, to show them that, there's hope, and it's not your fault. So I think
one of the best parts about having a channel is that it just builds in accountability, and unless you have one, you don't know that feeling. But I think it is something that keeps people really doing well, don't you?
Oh yeah, because you can't go on there and be on there for 2 years saying you're doing keto and then you're like gaining weight, right? Or you're like not doing what you're supposed to eat, or you're eating Burger King with the bun every day or whatever, So
no, only on weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been a delight to know you, and I'm going to post your channel below as well. And you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for your story. You know, it just seems like you have a really nice, clean, abstinent keto plan. And I love hearing that, you know, you're not skirting around and all of that. You accept the turtle.
Yep.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Lindy, for being here. You realize that was more than a half hour already.
Oh,
To me, it was like a sneeze. That's
it
how
went by
fast it went.
fast.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to sign us off now, and then you'll still be with me. So
Okay, sounds good.
thank you, everybody. And you will find Lindy's YouTube channel listed below, and you now know the history of the name of the channel. Thank you, Lindy.